And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the MIPTV Show in conjunction with Imagination in Motion. And I am your host, David Fox. And more importantly than me, we've got someone very important in the studio today. We've got Orange's Content Innovation and Digital Content Director, Morgan Bouchet. So welcome, Morgan. Welcome to the studio.
Hi, David.
Hello, how are you today?
Very fine, and you?
I'm very well, actually. Not bad at all. Meeting lots of interesting people. So, and including yourself, which is why we're here today, to find out your thoughts and just where the world goes in terms of content. So, Morgan, let me just start off with my first question. In terms of the key trends, what is the one key trend, you think, that will shape the future of content?
We saw now a lot of new devices, new users, and I think it's just the beginning. So maybe the big trend is to imagine what kind of new storytelling and new stories we need to develop for the future to address all these new platforms, these new devices, as stories as an IP, able to spread all the new devices and new hardwares.
I understand. So that's a big picture sort of story. What's the one biggest obstacle to getting all that content out there?
Probably to understand all the new users on every customers. And probably for the millennials, for young people, they develop their own specific users, and we need to understand every day on every devices how they use the content and what kind of stories they want to be engaged.
Of course, makes perfect sense to me. Yes, I can see that. But how is your work in particular, Morgan, shaping the future of that content?
We develop different proof of concepts with our partners, studios, producers, storytellers, to imagine new way to tell stories. So our goal
sounds huge.
Yeah, our goal is to engage our customers. So at Orange, we want to provide experiences for video on demand, for television, and we explore new way to tell stories through the second screen, through the VR, through the AR. So we need to innovate, and understand the market and customers' needs.
Well, let's talk about VR, because clearly that we were talking to one of our earlier interesting people here about VR and how it is important. But VR is an immersive content, and that's part of the future of entertainment. Do you think it is really part of the future of the entertainment, the immersive content? Do you think it's really important?
Yes, because I think we need now to engage customers. So probably VR, it's a good way to engage customers, to immerse the customers. But it's also a new way to tell stories. So we need to reinvent how to tell stories in this kind of new headsets.
Well, I've got a headset. And I've been using them, but they don't seem to have sold in quite the same numbers as people were perhaps predicting. Do you think the lower prices might be a way round this problem?
Sorry?
Do you think lowering the prices of the headsets, might be the one way round this problem?
It's one of the problems, but not only. I think the quality, the simplicity to use this headset to plug on your mobile or on your desktop. So we need to simplify the user experience with this kind of headsets.
So we've also noticed that there's been a very big trend in using, let's say, arcades for the development of site-specific VR. That's been very impressive. Is this a good thing, do you think?
Yeah, sure. If you see what happened 20 years ago in the game industry, they developed different arcade games center in the world in a way to evangelize, to educate the markets, and to have an access to this new kind of hardware and headsets. And I think we will see probably the same way in the future for the content industry. And
yes, it seems to be a way of pulling people in, doesn't it?
Yeah,
that front line.
Yeah, it's a way to evangelize it, to educate the market with these new forms of storytelling.
Well, tell me, speaking of VR and AR experiences, mixed reality is also out there, such as Magic Leap, and they're said by many as being the next big thing. would you agree that they are, in fact, the big thing that's, the one big idea that's out there that could really catch fire?
Yeah, probably the way to address the virtuality and the reality in the same places, in the same place, and probably this new headset could be a way to address a mass market. But I think with 2 billion investments in this product, we can expect to have a huge and extraordinary experiences.
Well, I understand that you're a person who gets into AR and VR, and I'm just wondering, on a personal level, what are your favorite AR and VR experiences, and why are they your favorite?
My favorite VR experience is probably the Gnomes and Goblins developed by Weaver.
Right.
And this experience is directed by John Favreau.
Right.
And it's just crazy.
Is it?
And crazy because it's at the mix between a game and a story, and it's just an immersive stories with gnomes and goblins. So it's crazy on HTC Vive platform. And on the AR parts, I haven't seen any AR stories for the moment, but we can expect maybe this year or next year to see new stories on AR kits or AR core. But yeah, we'll see.
And do you think that, would you say it was true that Generation X doesn't really watch sort of traditional TV?
The AR?
Well, Generation X doesn't watch traditional TV, so I'm wondering how, therefore, you engage that particular grouping. I mean, what have you found to be the best ways to engage the younger audience?
Probably to play with influencers, YouTubers.
Yep.
Probably as an actors or partners to spread all the new social platform and to use all the different social media platform to address this audience. But we need to tell new stories for this kind of audience. Yeah.
Well,
definitely.
I can sit there and watch a film for an hour and a half or maybe 2 hours, but it is true to say that Generation Z have actually got a shorter attention span. So how do you provide content for those people?
We need to address these new audiences with partners, with storytellers, and to tell new stories for this kind of audiences and play with different platforms. But I think it's a new grammar, as VR is a new grammar, but it's a new grammar to address this audience. And maybe VR and AR, it's probably a technology to address this kind of audiences.
I think that phrase has exemplified many of our conversations today. So, Morgan Bouchet, thank you very much.
Thank you
for coming in today. And the phrase that sticks in my mind is a new type of grammar. I mean, that's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you have a new type of grammar, it means the sentence structure is different, the storytelling structure is different. It seems an amazing sort of cocktail of new influences. So, Morgan Bouchet, thank you very much for coming in today. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for Morgan for coming to be with us on Facebook and the MIPTV Show in conjunction with Imagination in Motion. Morgan Bouchet, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you.